We begin with breaking news. The Pulaski County prosecutor confirming with Fox 16 he has opened an investigation into Little Rock City Hall over its handling of the Freedom of Information Act. Good evening and thanks for joining us for Fox 16 News. I'm Kevin Kelly.
I'm Donna Terrell. This comes as a city director accuses the mayor of ordering a city employee not to release a document. Now, this is something Fox 16 Investigates started looking into over the weekend after learning the city back in 2020 received a report about redeveloping neighborhoods, including War Memorial Park. Fox 16's Mitch McCoy has been looking into this for several days now and joins us here on set. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, well, first off, I guess right off with that breaking news, we're still learning or working to learn more on the scope of the investigation that the prosecutor has launched. There's still a lot of questions here at 9 o'clock as to what that could mean, but it all comes hours after the prosecutor sent a letter earlier this morning, and it's over the city's latest public record controversy, all starting with consultant work a couple of years ago, as Donna mentioned. Some of those recommendations included redeveloping parts of the city, various parts, including War Memorial Park, possibly turning parts of that area into multifamily housing. We've since learned those public documents were requested on October 24th. City Director Cappy Peck says she, along with City Manager Bruce Moore, started working with a constituent who lives in her ward to get him some of those documents. Peck says after days attempting to get those records, the man who oversees the city's planning department, Jamie Collins, told her on Friday he could not release it, something he later denied ever saying.
He then said, quote, "This is between you and me." I said, okay, not knowing what would follow. He then proceeded to tell me that you, Mr. Mayor, told him to not send the document.
Fox 16 started hearing about the controversy over the weekend. That's when we requested the documents. Email records show it was after Fox 16's request. The city handed the documents over to the constituent. The mayor defended himself tonight at the city board meeting, saying none of it was true.
I have not instructed Director Collins nor City Manager Moore not to produce or release anything whatsoever. That's the fact. That's the truth. That's my word.
The mayor sent a series of tweets yesterday saying all of this stems from the election, tweeting, quote, "Steve supporters and consultants are lying about me again. The latest incident involves a consultant running to the press to state I instructed city employees not to provide a document. That is outright false," end quote. We reached out to Mayor Scott's opponent, Steve Landers, who says the person who requested these documents is not a paid consultant in his campaign. And this is an issue between the city board, mayor, and the need for transparency with taxpayer dollars. All of this tonight, as we mentioned off the top, the prosecutor sent another letter to City Hall this morning expressing serious concerns and frustrations over these latest accusations. But as we now know it, Donna and Kevin, we can't even get a story on the air before something in this changes, like tonight, right before we come on.
Yeah,
right.
A lot of he said, she said going on here.
Definitely, but there's something I want to go back to, something you said. You were talking about War Memorial Park and multifamily housing. Is there a plan to develop housing at that park?
There was a request put out by the city to look at areas that could be redeveloped. And parts of that was the I-630 corridor near War Memorial Park. Other parts were downtown in the business area, and then historical Southwest Little Rock. Parts of the plan included developing multifamily housing in or around. That's the part that is a little sketchy. We don't know if it was in War Memorial Park or near it, putting it into multifamily housing. That was a plan that was put out earlier this year, late last year, and as of right now, that plan has not been presented to the board. And something to that extent, something that major to rezone that area, that would have to go to the city board.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And a lot of public comment, too, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And keep in mind, this was all put out in the middle of the pandemic when they put out the request to look at certain areas. But as of right now, there's no official plan being put up against the city board or having them vote on anything. So I think that's way down the road, if it even gets to that point. The city would have to take it up.
Yeah, we'll have to see where this investigation takes us next.
That's true.
Yeah, there's a lot more questions tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mitch.